that also.
Yeah, so a friend of mine raises chickens, and she had a whole collection of hens. And then one day, oh, Lizzie's here, morning. And then one day, she came down, and like it starts with like small things, like the colors of them change. And she said that she knew that this chicken was going to become a cockerel, and she had to like get the vet to like do something to like either stop it or encourage it or whatever. But and it's something to do with like the threat level, and it's not necessarily like, oh, we want to have our eggs fertilized, let's become a guy. It's more like, oh, we can smell of foxes in the area and we need protection, so like the biggest chicken will start changing or whatever. So we've got Kelly here. Good morning.
Hello.
So we were talking about chickens before we started, and that's why we were still talking about chickens when we started. But I'm just going to cheekily introduce everyone if you haven't caught us before, although we've done two or three. Three. It's because I was only there for like 10 minutes yesterday, and it's very early. But we have Celine for Team Men, we have Hannah for Team Hobbit, and we have Lizzie, who is our great leader, Tom Bombadil. And then obviously I'm rocking up as the Witch King. So Celine, what are you reading this morning? Oh, I really chose the best time with an article. Absolutely. Good work, Hannah.
Still The Hobbit. I am 50-something% into it. Let's say that, around that. The goal is to finish this one so that I can start my second TBR.
And if you'll start your second TBR, I'm going to do that too.
I think there's a real battle royale going on, isn't there, between hobbits and men at the moment? I feel like you're both doing really, really well, and I'm loving watching it because I wasn't expecting everyone to be.
That's what I was saying to Hannah. I think usually I don't get competitive at all. I'm not a competitive person, but for some reason for this readathon, I'm like, I will read as many TBRs as I can.
I mean, you're going to outdo me because I've got work as well. Like in the next few days, I'm going to really slow up. But yeah, I'm going to try.
Oh, that's cool. What are you reading, Hannah?
I'm now reading Death and Croissants by Ian Moore.
This title is so damn cute.
It is. Because I did a blog post of like books I was looking forward to that all had like French themed, and Death and Croissants was on the list. Is it any good?
I am 40 pages in. I am enjoying it so far, but I wouldn't say confused. I just don't know enough about what's going on yet. They haven't even found... So it's a murder mystery. They haven't even found the body. They've just found a bloody handprint.
Oh, okay.
So, like, I don't know anything yet, but I am enjoying it. So, yeah. We'll see how it goes.
That's cool.
Is it cozy mystery vibes or proper...
It's meant to be cozy, yeah. But so it's still kind of getting into it at the moment.
Okay.
So.
Are you feeling cozy so far?
I am, yeah. Yeah, I think so. But it's hard to tell again because it's kind of not really got much into the mystery besides there's a handprint and everyone else has left the B&B. So like, that's a bit creepy.
You have croissant in the title. Does it have anything to do with the French something?
Yeah, so it's a B&B in France.
Okay.
So there's a lot of French coming up where I'm like, again, this is probably the third time I've said it on this readathon. I apparently will never understand French. So I'm just sat here like, cool, this is fine. I get the gist.
I was reading The Mask Falling, which is like the fourth book in the Bone Season series, and there's loads of French in that, and it's never explained. Like they just have conversations in French, and I was reading the audiobook, and I was like, "This is lovely." I have no idea what they're saying to each other.
French dictionary, like a live French dictionary. Should ask me.
Yeah. I should have just texted him and been like, "What is this?"
Yeah.
I use Google Translate on my phone.
Nice.
I'm like, I just hold it over it and then read it on my phone. I'm like, okay, I get it.
That does work as well. Yeah, it's more that I am. So yeah.
Perfect. And Lizzie, I know what you're reading, but I'm excited for everyone else to hear what you're reading.
But yeah, I didn't know.
So I'm still reading The Murder of Graham Catton. I read a grand total of 33 pages yesterday after coming back from Oxford, which was a really, really good time. I've got to edit my photo so I can put it on to Instagram. But it was a really nice day, and we got back and we read for like 45 minutes and then decided we were tired. But I was forbidden from reading anymore because I've got to the point where I'm not really that far in, but I have a feeling that I'm going to get to a point and just want to finish it. and Hannah forbid me from finishing it without her being able to see my reaction.
Once again, Lizzie is conflating the facts just slightly. I did not forbid Lizzie from reading it. What I said was, because it's such a wild ending, and the end. I mean, Hannah, you've read it, haven't you? Have you read it?
No, I want to, but I haven't got it yet.
Oh, okay. I can fix that. It's got a really bad cover and title now, but I can fix that. But basically, because the last 100 pages, I know that Lizzie will, like, the moment she gets to that point, she will have to finish it. And she wanted to continue reading it last night, and I was really struggling to stay awake. And I was like, I don't want to miss you reading the last 100 pages, because Lizzie keeps doing this thing where she's like, stupid theory time, and then she'll like talk me through her thoughts. And as someone who's read it, I love hearing them, because that's my favorite bit of reading either a mystery or a thriller, is coming up with all those different, like, ooh, could it be this, could it be that kind of thing. Even if I'm wrong, like, I don't care if I'm wrong, I just like the process of like guessing the ending, which is why I struggle with like YA contemporary shit, because I'm like, oh, I've guessed the ending and then that was the ending, like, where's even the challenge there? Like, it's, and which is just silly. So I didn't want to miss that. So I'd said to Lizzie, I was like, well, if you can guarantee that you will stop before you get to like that last 100 pages, like, don't worry about it. But if you don't think you will, if you think that you're just gonna, you know, straight on till morning, as they say, then I would rather see the ending. So I didn't go like, I didn't forbid her from reading it. That is such a lie.
You
but
did.
I was very,
You did.
I did never say I forbid you. Those phrases, that word never came out of my mouth.
But I might listen to a bit of my audiobook for the Silmarillion, because I've read 50 pages of this yesterday. It did nearly send me to sleep, because it's not like a linear story. Like, it's because this was edited by Christopher Tolkien and was published posthumously, so it's all kind of put together with Tolkien's like writings that they basically found in his desk, and it's all kind of it doesn't make sense in the same way like a normal story makes sense. It's really interesting, but it's more hard going because it isn't a story yet. Like, it's literally all about like the creation of Middle Earth and like all the gods and what they did and why they don't like each other, and like how the first Dark Lord came to be, who's actually an angel, or what Tolkien. He's basically Tolkien's Satan and the devil, essentially. And he's not fallen yet, but the Middle Earth god is like, yeah, he sucks, kind of thing. It's interesting to see the political thing. And we've also met Gandalf, who is, again, he's technically an angel. Gandalf is. That's why he can come back from the dead. And he I don't know which one he is yet, and I'm trying to figure out, and that's the problem, because I'm like, who are you? But it is interesting, but it did nearly send me to sleep yesterday, and I don't know if that was just because I was really tired, but I might listen to more of this and play some Animal Crossing. So if you see me on my Switch, I will still be reading, I promise.
That's right, we won't judge you if you don't. That's fine. It's early. Like, this is the thing. So, like, Kelly texted me to say that she's going to have the sprints open, but she's going to be getting some work done. Like, that's absolutely fair. If you're sat here watching it and you're just having your breakfast and chilling out, that is also absolutely fine. I'm going to be doing a couple of these throughout the week. So we've got today, and then I'll be doing Wednesday and Thursday as well. Because I work better if I start just and like the beginning of my day. If it's like you guys, you've hung out with me before, you know this is the case. If we're like, oh yeah, we'll meet up later, and then it like gets later and later and later, and eventually I just don't fucking read because it's like 9 o'clock at night and we've just jumped on Zoom. So I need to start early, but no one else does. Like, you guys can chill out. I'm gonna go make myself some tea in a bit as well, so it'll be all nice. But I will be reading. I want to get my 100 pages of Illuminate done. I did say yesterday that I don't think it would be too difficult for me to finish this one and Extasia in a day. And I guess if I was going to do that, probably on a bank holiday is the best day to do it, because no one is expecting work from me. But I would like to get the work done so that I can then kind of chill out for the rest of the week, because once the work's done, it's done. I do have packages to parcels to package, which are going out to you guys, actually. So that's quite funny. And then I've got a couple of other sub boxes that I need to prep, and I've got some just general work to do. So I'm gonna I feel like this sprint is probably gonna go on until at least midday, and then when we all start like branching off for lunch, etc. That's probably when I'll call it. But I'm not doing one of the big timer thing. I'm just gonna have at the bottom a banner, and I'm gonna say that for the first sprint we're gonna go until 50, so that gives us about 40 minutes. If that's cool with you guys.
That's
I'm gonna go
fine.
make some breakfast.
Cool.
There is sprints this evening for about 4 p.m. as well. So once we have lunch, there'll be a bit of a break. But there is more sprints this evening. Never fear.
I'll come back to read as well.
I might not make
Maybe.
those ones, depending on how my day goes.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
That's
And
fine.
the other thing is, it's in the description of this video. There is a playlist link that I've made. I have made playlists for all of the different teams that all have kind of classical music, either from the films, by Shaw, or just in general have the vibe of the team. So the elves, there's a lot of like gentle green music. Hobbits, it's a lot of like, party music, hobbit ballads, etc. But the Witch Kings one is the one that I've put down in the description for now, which is very, very dark. So if you like listening to music and stuff whilst you read, please feel free to give that a click. But other than that, I think that's everything. I'm gonna go make myself some tea. So
As you mentioned hobbits, my internet kind of went, no.
You get nothing.
Yeah.
So that playlist is in the description if anyone wants it.
Okay, perfect.
All right. Well, I'll see you guys in a bit then.
Yeah.
Welcome back. Sorry, Celine. I thought it would be gentler than the horrible, like, siren sound that tends to go on.
Fine. I'm just very sensitive to noises. It's fine. It's me.
How did we all do? I'll start with you this time, Hannah. How did you do? Because I know you're
About 25 pages, I think. But I also vlogged and made breakfast, so
Vlogging.
it's good going.
That is good. Actually, that reminds me that I need to update my vlog. Thank you for reminding me.
You're welcome.
We Hannahs have to stick together, and by that I mean I'm just gonna wait until you remind me that I need to do stuff. How did you do, Celine?
I read 30 pages, and I remembered that I have to prepare my camera as well.
Nice, excellent. And Lizzie?
I read about 40 pages.
Look at us! I got 40 pages as well. Look at us all go. Go on.
Hannah, I'm not going to give any spoilers or anything. Don't worry. But the theory I told you last night, I'm even more convinced now.
Interesting. Okay. Well,
watch me be completely wrong now. Now I'm convincing myself further. Watch me be completely wrong.
It's really funny. So for those of you who don't know, Lizzie and I live together, and we often like share books or we'll sit and read with each other and discuss our theories and stuff. And Lizzie has the worst poker face you've ever seen in your life. So if Lizzie has read something before I have, and I go, "Hey Lizzie, I think this thing's going to happen," she'll go, like that, and like she really like struggles, and I'll know pretty much straight away whether I've got it right or wrong. And it's always funnier to me when I've got it wrong, because then I'm like, okay, cool, like the game continues. Whereas if I'm like, oh, I've hit the nail on the head kind of thing. I would like to think that I have a slightly stronger poker face, but that's only because I always look like I'm up to no good. So I'm like always cheeky grinning. So I feel like that definitely helps.
That's the approach I take. I'm a terrible liar. So whenever we like play board games where you've got to lie, I will tell the truth badly as well. And that has also meant that they are convinced I am like the traitor or whatever in the game. And they've like thrown me out. I'm like, I wasn't. I just can't. I need to cover for like when I actually have to lie.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not very good at the game poker, but not because I can't bluff, but just because I have no idea what the rules are. Like it's that level of lying ability, really. But I have just spotted this comment. I just wanted to say thank you for joining. And also, Athon is going pretty much until, is it till midnight Friday you're doing it, or are you just doing it until like the eve?
Yeah, midnight Friday. So like midnight to midnight.
Excellent. So on the announcement videos, there's all the information you could possibly need if you want to go and check those out. And basically, there is a reading tracker spreadsheet that the amazing Hannah has made, and it looks beautiful. And Lizzie checks it on a regular basis. So if you pick a team and you read a book for the team, Lizzie gets really excited to see that you've updated it. So if
I
anyone
do.
finishes the books,
I do. There are 12 books logged. There are 12 books logged, and I'm so excited.
Wow.
I'm so
and Hobbits are still winning.
And Team Hobbit, I'm sorry, is running away. Like with like they are honestly doing such a fab job. But Catherine, if you wanted to join this round, I would suggest Team Hobbit because it is 4 days into the readathon. But you could still do it because Hobbit has got a really special power of being able to read just one book if it does all of the prompts. So you could still join and no, Hannah, no, shush.
I was just going to say that you literally just said that Hobbits are winning. Like Hobbits clearly don't need anyone else on their team.
No, we do.
But I'm just saying, for if someone who still wants to join and take part, you still can do it, and I can ensure like you can still win the readathon. Like if you read, you're winning. But I mean, like if you wanted to take part and do it properly almost, then Team Hobbit might be where you are wanting. Yeah. But I'm sure Hannah and Celine will fight tooth and nail to get you on their team. Hannah has got the biggest team though, this one.
I do.
Witch Kings are the biggest team so far. So
but
do what you want.
But has any Witch King actually put a book on?
Yeah.
I know I haven't.
Ali has read 2 books. Ali has read 2 books.
Great. She did great.
To be fair, Ali's a speed demon, so that doesn't surprise me. But
I'm reading for your team right now. This is one of your props.
I know, but you haven't finished it yet.
I fully expect Team Witch King to overtake me, so I'm just like, although it isn't a competition, I am quite competitive, so I'm just kind of relishing that we're in the lead at the moment.
I feel like it's not a competition. However, all of the hosts are competing against each other for the lols.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a very like I have made myself the antagonist because I know for a fact I'm the most competitive and I'm the most petty when it comes to being competitive. Do you know what I mean? So it made sense. I love that I'm assuming this means you paused it, that me wondering when I'm going to come back and realizing my video wasn't live. Yeah. I was actually pretty proud of myself for being pretty much on time because I did set my audiobook timer to finish around the same time as well. So actually it worked out quite well. Yeah, feel free because I feel like we've not said that you have to specifically like pick books you haven't started yet for this readathon in general. So if any of your reads count for a prompt, count it towards a prompt.
This is a Lord of the Rings readathon. It's not a read along though, but it's a readathon.
Yeah, so it's a readathon, not a read along. So we are basically having sprints and reading books related to Lord of the Rings prompts in the lead up to the Rings of Power show, which we're very excited for. And I assume we're watching both episodes, aren't we, on Friday?
Yeah, I think so. Because I think they're releasing the first 2 episodes. If they're not, then it'll just be the first episode.
Yeah. No worries. We knew what you meant. I had, in fact, paused. But you're back and you were here roughly in time. Like, it's only I think you were barely 2 minutes late. So no stress there. But what is everyone else reading? Those of you watching, what are you reading? What are you up to? I know Kelly said she had to work because Kelly is in South Africa. So she doesn't get to enjoy the bank holiday like we do. And for that, I'm sorry. Yeah, let us know what you're up to.
Celine, are you enjoying The Hobbit? And I haven't talked to you since you started it. So what are we thinking?
I'm enjoying it. It is starting to be really different from the movies. So I've watched the movies many times, obviously before, and I prefer the book. Though I understand why they had to change some storylines for the movie. I can understand that. I can see that it was needed in the sense that it wouldn't have been not interesting, but not quite the same, not as gripping for a movie, at least. But
they wouldn't have been able to make it a trilogy, would they, Celine? With what's in that book, they wouldn't have been able to make it a trilogy for what's in that book, would they?
Maybe not. Or like not really a gripping, something action packed. Though the book is quite action packed, everything like something is happening all the time. But in a movie, it would have been very difficult, I feel like. But really enjoying the book. I prefer the book to the movies. That's also the thing. They had in the movie, they added the romance, and I wasn't there for that, even knowing that the book didn't have any romance. So I still don't like the romance in the movies.
That's because the romance is not good, but also totally tacked on. So I just want to quickly bring this up, right? So there are a couple of our hosts who have not read the Lord of the Rings books either. So
I haven't watched the films either. I've seen that one.
There we go. Yeah. Sometimes it's just about the vibes. It's about the aesthetic. I mean, Hannah is a hobbit, heart and soul, without having read the books. So I think that's a great sign. So don't worry about specifically reading those books. I've spotted that obviously you said you've got a lot on the go, including Babel, Love on the Brain, Clockwork Princess. Babel would work for Dark Cover, which is a Witch King prompt. Love on the Brain would work for a 5-star prediction, which is elves. Is it elves or dwarves?
Elves, yeah.
Elves.
Yeah, elves. If you think you'll like it, but it's 4 or 5-star prediction by the cover, so that's totally up to however you interpret it. So yeah, it could totally work. I don't know what the cover looks like. I'm guessing it's a romance though. It's Ali Hazelwood, right?
Yeah. So you want to know what Love on the? I've got it. One sec. Got it. One sec.
It's totally not my thing, but I feel like it's totally up to interpretation. But the cover might be great. I've never seen it, so I only know it's Ali Hazelwood. I'm waiting with bated breath here, Hannah. Come on.
It was at the bottom of the pile, but it's there.
Oh, it's bright pink. Oh, that's not for me.
Of course it is. Of course it is. So yeah, that would absolutely count for a 5-star prediction, in my opinion, because I thought the first one was amazing. I also really enjoy that Kelly said by work, she means clearing space on a laptop to export a time lapse. And I meant to say I was watching Becca's Patreon catch up the other day, and I mentioned, Kelly, that you would really like a candle that smells like the main character in the work in progress you and I are working on. And apparently she already has a candle that has bergamot in it. So we need. She did tell me which one it was. I didn't write it down because I'm an idiot. So I'm going to find it for you and let you know which one that is. So Rings of Power is essentially like the prequels to Lord of the Rings as a TV series, isn't it?
Without spoiling
No.
anything.
No, so it's not. It's based in. It's basically thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of years before The Hobbit, which is about 60 years before The Lord of the Rings. So it's right back in the past.
What
where
part
we
of that
kind
isn't a prequel, Lizzie?
Yeah.
It's not got any of the same characters or anything.
Doesn't
Or
matter. Doesn't matter.
Without
Still
spoiling anything, I think
pre the
prequel would
Quell.
be the best to describe.
what?
Without spoiling anything, I think prequel.
Yeah, it's just that you've got to, like, without spoiling prequels. It's set in the same world, but it's before all of that stuff. Yes, it's thousands of years before.
thousands of years before, but
But
it's still in the universe.
and it is
Still
so, like,
before.
there, you know, there's stuff and things that people would need to know.
I think you could probably watch Rings of Power though and not get spoiled for the events that happen in The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, to be honest, because it
Probably.
won't have any connection. Like there'll be some characters that will probably like you'll see from Lord of the Rings, but I think it's going to be totally different and won't have. It'll be like set up. So I think you can probably watch them before, but you know,
I imagine it will be a lot like the Marvel franchise, where the prequels come so early on that it's a case of they want them to stand on their own without people having seen them, because they're trying to draw new people into the fandom, basically. In the same way like Game of Thrones has this new series out where it's like, yeah, it's early on enough that you know what you're asking for when you're coming to like a Game of Thrones show, but it won't, if you haven't seen like the most recent series or anything, like things aren't going to be spoiled for you because it was so early, like in the timeline of that. But you definitely should, because they're really good. But
Yes.
I would recommend the audiobooks because they are long, and especially I would recommend the audiobooks because there are singing portions in some of them, and when the narrator starts singing, it's very entertaining.
Yeah, I'm
I
listening
can
to the
definitely-
audiobook of the first one now. I think I've got like an hour and a bit left of it. I've very much enjoyed it so far.
Well, I definitely can recommend the Andy Serkis versions. And then if you watch the films, he plays Gollum, so it's very good to hear his voice back when he's actually voicing his character in the books. And his singing is very amusing, and it's much better than the older editions, because there's some that are I can't remember when they were recorded, but they're pretty old. And the guy Rob Ingles, he has the really like oldie English kind of like that you'd hear on the radio. Like he's got that exact accent and voice, which
That's
is very
nice.
nostalgic for me. But the Andy Serkis one is superior, in my opinion.
Yeah, cool. That is the exact response I wanted. So someone gifted Kelly the Love Hypothesis candle that smells of ylang ylang and bergamot. And like, yeah, okay, where did this candle come from? I need to know for reasons. I'm allowed to buy candles because I only have a couple left. Lizzie is not allowed to buy candles because she still hasn't thrown away the 3 empty candles that
You can't stop me, bitch.
I will stop
That
you.
is the
Watch
argument me and
me.
Nathan have.
Watch me.
What is this candle? It looks pretty.
This is Amber and Tonka from Dunelm, and I wasn't gonna buy any candles, but when I went to Dunelm to buy my desk and to buy Hannah her terrarium, this was by the terrariums, and I was like, "Oh, that sounds interesting." I smelled it, and I was like, "Oh my god, I need it."
That is me in
So-
every
To
shop.
be fair, I left her alone for 5 minutes. That's what happened. I left her alone for 5 minutes. But I can't be mad about that one. That's the one candle that I have to just not be mad about, because Lizzie gifted me a terrarium, which is very gothic and very pretty. And I couldn't justify it when I went to Dunham the other day because we spent about £200 on stuff for the kitchen, which I was paying for. So I couldn't justify it, but may justify buying this candle.
I think go for it. Candles aren't like super expensive. Just fucking do it. Live your life and enjoy candles, Hannah.
Yeah, fuck it. Who cares? Okay. You're welcome. And yeah, so we will be sprinting pretty much from now until midday, and then there'll be more sprints at 4 o'clock on whose channel is it on? On your channel. Yeah.
And that's BST.
Yeah.
just in case it's different time zones.
Yeah. Good point. Right. Okay. Should we go again? How long do you want to go for this time?
Sure.
Should we do 45 and then we can do this banner again?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Good.
Cool. All right. See you in 45. Hello.
Hello.
I just dropped a thing in the comments because I had like 15 seconds of my chapter left and I could see that it was time, but I was like, it's so close to the end. Right now. How did we do?
I have 50 pages left. So I'm almost done. And I really prefer the book. I'm mad at the movie that they just came out with a whole different plotline, storyline. Like, why? It really wasn't necessary. I can understand to add some stuff and but like
There is a lot of reasons why they did, and I'm going to send
yeah,
you
of
some
course.
video essays that break it down, which I forced Lizzie to watch. There's 3 of them, and they're about an hour each, and it really looks into like why the books became like such long movies and why they added so much to it, and this, that, and the other that happened. But it's really interesting to me that I almost feel bad because you came into this being like, I really like the movies and I'm excited to read the book. And the more of the book you read, the more you're like, oh, the movies are terrible. Like,
They're not
They're good movies, bad adaptations.
yeah.
Good movies, bad adaptation. I think the movies are fun, right? They're fun, but they are not anything close to what the book was or was trying to be.
exactly.
Like the book is a lot less action packed in the sense there's not as many huge battles and there's not as many like like there's perilous times and like the things they did have in the movies are in the book. Fantastic, but they added a whole thing that was unnecessary.
You can tell that it's definitely more of a children book story
Mm.
kind of, and they tried to make it kind of the same as the Lord of the Rings in general.
Mm.
So, but yeah, no, I do prefer the book. I like it.
That's good. How'd you get on, Lizzie?
I read 82 pages. I am highly enjoying myself.
So do you think you'll be done in like the next sprint? Because I feel like you're steaming through that. It's not very long, is it?
No, I'm
Oh,
halfway through, I think. Well, over halfway
no,
through. I
over
am
halfway through, but yeah.
60% of the way through, so I think I'll need at least another 3 sprints before I finish it, I think. So I'll probably finish off stream, I reckon. Like, because I don't know how many more sprints we'll do, but I assume.
We'll do at least one more, because I think it will depend on like how you guys are getting on. If you're like, well, actually, I'm done after finishing this book, then we'll stop. And if not, also, I was listening to you, but I was also moving my fan because Percy has decided she would like to perch
The baby.
like a little owl. So, how'd you get on, Hannah?
I read about 70 pages, and there's been a few comments that I do not like, and I'm tempted to just DNF it.
Oh no! Like what?
He's on the top of a ship at one point, and he's like, I feel like I'm on a galley ship overlooking the slaves. I'm like, the fuck was that for?
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't even know why that would be in it. Like, why? Like,
It was not needed.
What was the purpose of that?
Yeah.
What was the
Like it
purpose
was
of that?
So
Sorry, I just got really bright on this and I can't see shit. And now I'm glowing. Excellent. That's really weird. Oh,
Yeah.
thanks, Percy. That's really weird.
yeah. So I'm tempted to DNF it and just start
Yeah.
a different book.
Like, yeah, that's really shit.
yeah.
And is there like no context for it? Is it literally just like he happens to be on a ship and the first thing he thinks of is, oh, slaves, obviously.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't you?
Pretty much. Yeah.
Oh, I hate that.
So
Okay.
yeah. I think I might go look for a new book in my next sprint.
How many pages are you into that one?
I'm about halfway.
Oh, that sucks. Like
I
they
know.
really like drew you in and then were
Yeah.
like, oh, by the way, casual racism.
Yeah. Like, do I finish it, give it 1 star, chuck it in a bin? Or do I just stop and chuck it in a bin?
Well, it depends. Was it the only thing that made you pause and thought, I'm not. I don't
There
want-"
has now been they've put face mask like a clay face mask on to go snoop around a local like a neighbouring B&B, and he's like, oh, I'll be known as the Englishman who black faced. I'm like, why are you
Oh.
bringing this up again now?
Ooh.
There's been
DNF
two.
it, Hannah. DNF
Yeah.
it.
That to me stinks of a writer who is trying to be woke but doesn't actually understand like casual racism. Like doesn't understand that casual racism is still racism and trying to be like, oh, the snowflakes will like this.
Yeah.
Is still racist.
Yeah. So
No. Don't
DNF.
like
DNF. DNF. DNF.
like, if it's still on there, I'm gonna take it off because that's not.
no.
So I was like, when you said it, I was like, well, maybe he means like, and this is like the white privilege thing, right? Is like the moment someone says that, I'm like, oh, but what did they mean when they said that? It gives me the ick, but it's like, well, what does it mean? And it's like, if it was like terrified, and if it was like there is something going on with the ship that is like, I'm inherently uncomfy, but that's not the context of that at all, is it?
They're about to go on a cruise and they're looking out for two people who might be in the mafia. It's a bit weird.
Then why not make literally any other reference to finding people? Why not
know,
like Where's
right?
Wally?
It was this one. I've just seen a comment in the corner of what book is it. So yeah, just
Grim. Okay, so speaking of which, let's go through the comments. So Catherine's had to pop out, but that's cool. Book submitted for which team?
It's Team Hobbit. It's Team Hobbit because I looked.
you've already looked.
Team Hobbit is running away from everyone.
Right.
Catch up, guys.
Can someone take that spreadsheet away from Lizzie? Like, I'm very pleased for you that your readathon is going so well, but you're getting like big brothery about it now, and it's a bit weird, Lizzie. Let it go.
I have it open, and I saw that because it was 10 minutes before the sprint ended. So I saw that comment and checked. So because I have it open because I have the Google Doc open as well, so when I can finish a book, and I don't have to go and find the links every time. So I just have it open. That's why. But I'm very excited, and Team Hobbit is killing it.
That's fair. Callie has deleted millions of files, which I'm sure is not hyperbole, and still can't export your time lapse. You need to get yourself a passport, and if you filled up your passport, you need to get yourself a second passport because that's what I did. And I've got like extra space that way. But I hope it sorts itself soon because I'd love to see that time lapse. Kelly does art, and she does very, very good art. No, that was not the last sprint. We're going to sprint at least one more time, maybe 1.5 of what we've done thus far. Why aren't you participating? What's that all about? Like, I mean, fair enough. Like, I'll take the watch hours if you want to do some reading or like productivity stuff, or just like having some noise in the background. Any of that's fine. But I have never
heard of this one either.
I'm going to look it up on Goodreads. It sounds like it's going to be like the Great British Bake Off meets Mission Impossible. That's the vibe I get from that.
Really?
A salted caramel, for sure.
I like the title, though.
It's an Amish candy shop mystery. It's the first in a series. It has 500 reviews. So it's obviously quite popular. It's got a 3.99 star rating. Originally published in 2017. Sometimes you need a sweet tooth to take a bite out of crime. Bailey King is living the sweet life as assistant chocolatier at the world famous JP Chocolates in New York City. But when Bailey's up for a life-changing promotion, his grandmother calls with news that his grandfather's heart condition has worsened. Bailey rushes to Harvest, Ohio, where her grandparents still run Swissman Sweets, the Amish candy shop where she was first introduced to delicious fudge truffles and assorted delights. She finds her grandfather is doing better than she feared. Unfortunately, the same cannot be said for a local English developer, whom Bailey finds dead in the candy shop kitchen, with Jebediah King's chocolate knife buried in his chest. Now the police are sweet on her grandfather as the prime suspect, despite the sincere efforts of a yummy deputy with chocolate brown eyes. But as a cunning killer tries to fudge the truth, Bailey may be headed straight into a whole batch of trouble. I love and hate just how many puns were in that final paragraph. That sounds amazing. I'm adding it to my want to read. For sure. Done. It's a cozy mystery, which I love. I love a cozy mystery. I prefer a thriller, but I love. I would absolutely read. I mean, wouldn't we all? Wouldn't we all? If you like a cozy mystery, I'm sure I can think of some. My collection of Agatha raisins is struggling a bit at the moment, but they're quite fun. She's very fat phobic in it, but it's written by a woman who's been working on that series since she was like in the 70s. So it's quite like an old series. But that one's quite a fun one as well, if you like that sort of thing. But yeah. Anyone else here a fan of cozy mysteries? I know for a fact that if Ali does ever rock up I know you are, Hannah, because you're currently reading a bad one.
Well, I'm not currently reading anymore. I have DNF'd it. It's
you have DNF'd it.
Yeah.
I love cozy mysteries. That was that. Bye.
I loved that. Just no.
Yeah.
So what prompt were you reading that for? Was that for all of them, or was that just the food?
It would count for all of them. All my books counted for all of them, just in case I only read one book.
That's fair.
But I was reading that one for a new to me author. So it's an author that's gonna stay away from me.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Okay, cool. Right. In which case, should we go back for another sprint? Want to do another one?
Yeah, I'm gonna go hunt for a new book.
You're gonna have lunch? Okay.
Yes, I'm going to leave you now, but I will be back for the second reading sprint.
Yeah, but if I do another 50-minute one, then you've got ages, and if you want to jump back on afterwards, you can.
Yeah, for sure. I'll see if you have another one, or else I'll be there this evening, like afternoon, evening. So have fun sprinting, guys, and I will see you soon.
See you later.
Bye.
See you later.
If context wasn't clear, I was taking the mic earlier. That's absolutely fine. I'm just glad you found us in time to get some reading done. That's really all that matters to me. Not a fan of cozy mystery. I find there's no real drama or stakes. I feel like that's fair. I feel like cozy mysteries are in that Venn diagram of like crime and contemporary. And contemporary, I find, usually has very, very low stakes. And sometimes that's what people want, but sometimes you want high stakes, high drama. And that's fair too. That's fair too.
I feel like it's perfect vibes for autumn though. Like I want low stakes and just chill.
Did you guys ever watch the TV series? And we will start reading in a sec. But did you guys ever watch the TV series The Good Witch, which was on ABC? So nothing happens in that show. Absolutely nothing. It's like Gilmore Girls if the drama of Gilmore Girls was taken out of Gilmore Girls. Like it's so sedate and so calm. And I had never watched it before, but my flatmate used to watch it when she was hungover. And that was how you knew she was hungover or that she'd stayed up too late writing, because she would you'd walk into the living room and she'd be watching The Good Witch, because nothing happens. Like you can watch every episode and there might be a mild disagreement, but it immediately gets sorted by The Good Witch. But I tell you what, Hannah, you'd love the vibes.
My mum loves it. I know that much.
Witchy, villagey vibes, and like honestly, it's the one. It's the one.
I'll have to look it up because I think that'll make my mum happy as well. To be fair.
There you go.
He's obsessed.
More endorsement for The Good Witch. Okay, right. I'll mute now and I'll leave you.
Before we sprint, I just want to give a shout out. I've been listening to Hannah's Witch King playlist because I was like, you know what, why not? And it's really good. So check out those playlists.
Do you know what I love? Like Lizzie does support me in a lot of the things that I do. Not the chaos always, but like most of the things I do, most of the things I make, Lizzie supports me. She never sounds excited about supporting me though. Like, and it kills me. Like, yeah, she's made this playlist and it's really good. You should go listen to it. Thanks, Lizzie. Oh, that's her way of saying where's the lie, but that's fine. Right, see you guys in a bit.
I'm trying to shout it out and tell you it's good. Sorry.
We'll use more inflection, please. Hello, hello. How we doing?
Yeah. Still feel really deflated after that last book, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I feel like it sucks when you hit a book that's given you like ick properly, because then trying to get into the next one, you're still like reeling from that. Like, I think that's absolutely fair. What did you pick up instead?
I picked up Summer by Ali Smith just because I wanted to read that. I know it's the last one in the quartet that she did for each season, but considering it's the tail end of summer now, I thought I'll start with that one because I think they can be read as standalones.
That's cool.
I'm not very far in yet, because I say I'm just, yeah.
No, that's fair. But the horizon level stare, I feel, is saying a lot more. No, that's absolutely fair. How'd you get on, Lizzie?
I read 98 pages, and I'm now less than 100 pages from the end.
That's what I mean. I knew you would. I knew you would just absolutely steamroller through it. How are your theories coming? Obviously, I get that you don't want to share it for people that haven't read it yet. Like,
I'm less convinced,
okay,
but I think it's still possible, and I won't be mad if I'm wrong, and I won't be mad if the thing that I think probably is going to happen will happen. I'm being really vague because I don't, if in case I am right, I don't want to accidentally spoil anyone for this book, and I don't want my theories to kind of, if you read it, to then influence how you read it, because I think that's the beauty of it. Hannah told me literally nothing apart from the fact that it was wild, and that was it. That's all I knew about it. So I don't want to spoil anyone accidentally, but I'm getting near the climax of the story, so I'm excited to figure out what's going on.
No, that's fair. That's fair. Well, I managed another 40 pages of Extasia, and I realised that I'm basically halfway done. But on Goodreads, for some reason, the copy that has been selected for me is the paperback, which has fewer pages. So I was like, oh, I'm at 56%. I'm not. I'm more at like 48% than I am 56% because there are more pages than there should be. But what I will say about this, it's weird. It's really weird. And it is very similar to the TV series Salem, mixed with M. Night Shyamalan's The Village, and just bizarre. But I will say that the main character is super pious and super irritating. It is trying to do what The Shadow of Glass tried to do, but it is succeeding where Shadow of Glass failed. Shadow in the Glass, even. So, yeah, I'm enjoying it, but it's weird. But it's for my Fell Beast one, so it was like I've TBR'd this 3 times. So if I hadn't read this for this readathon, I would have to unhaul it, and I may still unhaul it. I don't know if it's going to get higher than 3.5 stars. So that's where it's sitting at the moment.
That's sad because that was one of your anticipated releases.
Yes, it was.
I'm sorry.
I don't get me wrong. Like, I absolutely died for Sword Kill Girls, and I've still got the 3 books in the Furyborn series. And it's not like I wouldn't recommend this to people. It's just absolutely not what I imagined. And I think I read The Tall Bones for one of the Lamentable Library, which is a gothic book club that I'm part of, for one of their picks. And I'd recommended it. And then it was like overtly religious to the point where it's like, okay, well, this is just going to be a religious mob being violent. And there is a lot of that in this. And it was only when I was like, we had the live show and I was like, oh, this is like really thrilling. It's really terrifying. And then Becca from Becca and the Books, who was on that live show as well, was like, yeah, I hate stuff like that because it still happens. And I was like, ugh. Like, whilst it was in my head as like not a real thing, it wasn't as gross. And it was just kind of scary that this could happen. Not that, no, this stuff still happens kind of thing. And I was like, no, you're right. And it's like, because they're fiction, my brain hadn't quite, like, it was almost cognitive dissonance. I hadn't put 2 and 2 together. And whereas now I'm reading this and I'm like, I feel like you've got all the information to be anti-establishment, and yet you're very pro the establishment still, and we're halfway through. I don't know how I feel about that. So it's almost like if Katniss from Hunger Games was like chill with the Capitol and didn't have an issue with them, even though they've done all these horrible things to her, but still went into the Hunger Games prepared to kill everybody. Like, it's that. I don't know how I feel about that. Any hoozle. Right. Yeah. Brand spanking new. Lizzie created it this year. Didn't you, Lizzie?
Oh, I did.
But yeah, let us know which team you went for. And congratulations on your 14%. That must be quite a quick read. Or you're a very fast reader. I'm a very slow reader. I did not get 14%. Did you want this one to be the last one?
Up to you. I'm going to finish my book and then probably have a shower and get dressed and have lunch next, like after I finish the book. So
yeah, well, my thought is I'm going to, just before the end of whichever sprint this is stick my lunch in the oven, and then go from there so that we can chat and wrap up a little bit, and then I can go and eat. That's my plan anyway.
That sounds like a good plan. I mean, I don't mind because we'll be doing it again at 4. So
yeah, that's true. Yeah, we don't have to hang about. So, what are you thinking, Hannah?
My stomach's grumbling, but Nathan's making bread, so I can't cook yet.
How long would you need?
Don't know. To be fair, he has just walked past. I think he's now waiting for it to prove, so I might be able to cook. I'm not sure.
Well, should we do a shorter one then? Should we just do half an hour?
Yeah.
And then we'll call it. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, then Lizzie.
See if I can get back into the groove, because as I say, I still feel a bit like ugh.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely fair.
Maybe I'll read a lighter book, because this one's all about it's hitting in the pandemic and Brexit, and I'm like,
That's kind of why I stopped. That's why I stopped with this one, because they started talking about the plague and make sure to wash your hands, put your mask on, and I was like, too soon. It's too soon for that.
Yeah. Things as though it looks like I'm going to finish this. Maybe with Celine saying that she's going to start a second TBR, maybe I'll just do that and do one of the prompts I've already completed, because I've got another book that I picked up. So I'm reading. I've had a troll through. My library has they've signed up to an online e-library as well, and I found one. What was it? I need to double check what it was called now. The Accidental Medium, and it's got a glass of wine on the front, so it would count if it'll come up. Okay, apparently it'll only take me to there. It won't give me the cover.
I have seen it. I have seen it because it's one of the ones that I think I've put on Waypoint because I'm intrigued by it. I swear to God, if that's a second book that went on Waypoint and then does something problematic, I'll be really annoyed. But
well, maybe I'll read it and then I can tell you.
Please do. Please do those things.
Cool. But it's got a glass of wine on the cover. So it's although it's a new to me author, which is the prompt I'm trying to fulfill, it also helps me out with the prompt to have something edible on the cover. So maybe I'll just count it for that one again, kind of thing.
Why not?
Because new to me author is obviously going to be easier to fulfill.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, maybe I'll start that instead and hope it's lighter.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it does look like it will be. So fingers crossed. Yeah, I think Zadie Smith's quite intense. So yeah.
Maybe this is helping keep me deflated. So yeah.
Cool. Okay. Well, let's do half an hour then. If we do till 12:30, and then we can go and skedaddle for lunch.
Sounds like a plan.
Last sprint. And it also means that Lizzie won't have to worry about being dramatic face on live. She can just be dramatic face on her vlog instead.
No, I don't. I think I've got 79 pages left until the end.
But we're doing a short sprint, so it's only shorter by the last one was obviously 50 minutes as opposed to 45. So
yeah, we'll see. We'll see, because you'll probably the sprint will end, and I'll be like, I can't stop. But
no, that's fair. I feel like though at the end of this, if you're like, no, I want to keep reading, you can just mute yourself and keep reading. I'm not gonna care. I can talk enough for all three of us. It's really not a problem. But right, okay, I will see you in half an hour then.
Yes.
Hello.
Right, I can see that Lizzie is like barely at the end there. So, Hannah, how did you get on?
I didn't want to mute then. I didn't. So I'm now looking for an audiobook instead.
Oh no.
Oh, if you've got a short book to recommend me to see if that'll help.
What is the prompt? Because I absolutely will do.
Just a new to me author.
A new to you author. Okay. Do you want to go graphic novel?
Oh, that might work.
Because like one of the graphic novels that I read on Scribd, which I think you have, is what was it called? It was called something really bizarre, but it was like Bloodstain or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Bloodstain Volume 1 and Volume 2 is basically like a Frankenstein retelling, but it's like a modern one. Nothing really happens in the first two graphic novels, but they're quite good. Or you've got Wash Day Diaries by Jamila Rouser, which is all about 4 Black women and kind of their rituals around washing their hair. Would absolutely recommend that one. That was a 5 stars.
Okay.
Lizzie looks devastated.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I was very wrong, but I'm not mad. Well.
What rating did you give it? That's probably the safest thing you can tell us.
I have not rated it yet.
Okay.
I've literally just finished it, but I think it's going to be a 5 stars.
Good.
I think. I don't know yet, but I'd be surprised if it isn't.
Mm-hmm.
I was pretty close, though, in like a really roundabout kind of way.
I would beg to differ, but that's fair.
Like in not in the way that I was right, but I feel like there were aspects that I was correct on.
Your most recent text to me was wrong.
Yeah,
like,
that was very
straight
wrong.
up. Like that's not true.
No. I know that. But like there's a couple of things that I said to you before that I'm like, oh no, I was correct about that part of it. I was very wrong in most of it, I will say. But
that one thing. Fair. Well, Ali rocked up and then realized we were on the last sprint. The sprints actually did go really well. I have read a total of 178 pages. So I'm very proud of myself. Tina read nothing, and that's fine. That's how it rolls sometimes. I was really happy with both those graphic novels. Bloodstain I didn't enjoy as much, but that's only because I'd read Punderland, which is a Persephone and Hades retelling by the same author, and really liked that one. And then
Sorry, I think I have that one upstairs, so now I'm like, ooh.
Well, then prioritize that one over Bloodstain, because it would still be a new to you author, but I would argue that Punderland is better. Excellent. But yeah, no, I'm happy with how today's gone. I think we've done quite well.
Sorry, I'm currently making sure I note down those graphic novels before they leave my head.
No, that's fair. Worst case scenario, Hannah, I can text you when we're done.
Yes. Yeah, no. Well, mine, although I got a lot done at the beginning, it then went rapidly downhill.
Yeah, no, you had the complete opposite kind of day to me, I think. That was not good times for you. And I can only apologise because, that's...
No, it'll be fine. Graphic novel sounds like a great way to go. I don't know why I didn't think of that. I think I forget they exist.
Oh, don't get me wrong. Like when I was doing all my recommendation videos and then picking books for my TBR, it was only as I was filming them that I was like, oh, I had these graphic novels the whole time. So
the whole time.
So no, that's absolutely fair. And to be fair, Lizzie's got for her Wayward-a-thon TBR, which is mid-September, it's almost exclusively graphic novels. So
Yep.
Going completely the opposite way. But all right, well, I'm going to leave this here then. Is there anything you guys want to shout out other than the sprints at 4:00 BST on Lizzie's channel, which will be on the Twitter later.
I don't think so. Other than go read Murder of Graham Catton ASAP because
it's good.
Who's been sleeping on this book? Like really?
Everyone, genuinely everyone. And I know it's not everyone's thing because not everyone loves a thriller, but I feel like that one has such a great balance of, is it ghosts or is it psychos? I don't know.
I do need this book. I need it really badly.
I do think I can still get the hardback in, but which has a nicer cover than the paperback. So I will bear that in mind. I mean, November, Waypoint does a hardback as opposed to a paperback anyway, as an anniversary thing. So maybe it'll be that one for you. Maybe that'll be your pick. I know you don't like picking because you don't like choices, but I can probably arrange for that to be the case.
Sounds good.
Cool. Right, in which case I will end this here. It's been really nice to read with everyone, and I'll see you. Well, I will probably not be on the one this afternoon, but I'll see you Wednesday, if not before. Bye.
Bye.